Yates County. Good afternoon, Arlene Wilson here from Yates County Cooperative Extension, and we are having a little educational roundtable with members of the Alzheimer's Foundation. And so we have Nanette Friedman, who is our Program and Services Project Director. Hello, Nanette, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Arlene.
No problem. And we have David Chaves Lopez, who is the Bilingual Program Manager. And thank you for
Hello,
joining us,
Arlene.
David, as well.
Thank you so much.
So, Nanette and I go way back, and I won't say how far back, but we've known each other quite a while, working on outreaching to different communities in the Finger Lakes around Alzheimer's and dementia. So, Nanette, can you tell us about the Alzheimer's Association and what counties and regions you cover, and what is your focus?
Well, the Alzheimer's Association, as many of us know, is national. Our chapter is the Rochester and Finger Lakes region, and we cover 10 counties from Rochester all the way down to Chemung, and we're celebrating our 40th year.
Oh, wow. Nice, nice. Congratulations. Congratulations. And David, tell us, what do you do with the Alzheimer Association?
Yes, I coordinate the Spanish programming mainly, doing caregiver educations as well as community awareness programs in Spanish, um, trying to really engage the Latino community with our programs and services through the educational piece, but also through care consultations, and hopefully soon some support groups in Spanish as well.
Oh, that would be great. That would be awesome. Okay. And so, David, you have a PowerPoint for us? Some things you'd like to share?
I do. And so here is our presentation. Can everybody see this?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. Well, um, thank you again, Arlene, for having us. And we are going to talk about a little bit of an overview of what the programs and services um, that we offer and that we have available for the community. But also we'll spend some time in talking about the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. And I just want to make a note at the top of the screen. You'll see the helpline number that is 800-272-3900, as well as our website, alz.org. And all of the services and programs that we'll be talking about can be accessed through our helpline, but also through our website as well.
Okay, thank you.
And our vision is a world without Alzheimer's disease and all other dementia. And the Alzheimer's Association leads the way to end Alzheimer's and all other dementia by accelerating global research, driving risk reduction and early detection, and maximizing quality care and support. And you can see our logo to the right that brings together people and research to find an end to Alzheimer's disease, and again, all dementia.
Exactly. So what is dementia? And dementia is that umbrella term for loss of memory and other thinking abilities that are severe enough to interfere with daily life. And we always talk about that differentiation that we have to make between normal aging, where we may have lapses in memory or thinking from time to time, but we still have the ability to trace our steps, to remember certain things. And those changes don't necessarily affect our daily life. But we see with dementia, with the actual the symptoms of dementia, uh, those problems in thinking and those changes in behavior and loss of memory do affect our daily life. That's when we see there's an actual disease taking place. And we see at the bottom here Alzheimer's disease taking between 60 and 80% of the main cause of dementia. And then we have a number of other diseases that also cause these symptoms, including Lewy body dementia, vascular dementia, as well as frontotemporal dementia. And then some other ones that you've probably heard of, Parkinson's disease, Huntington's disease as well. And then there's something called mixed dementia, which is a dementia that draws from all the other types of diseases as well. So at the association, although we are Alzheimer's association, we do, like Nan mentioned, address all other types of dementia as well.
And why do you have them, if you just go back, why do you have them under the umbrella? Why do you address the other ones? I know the percentages aren't as high as Alzheimer's, but why are they all under the dementia umbrella?
Because all of these cause dementia.
I
All of
see.
these are causes of dementia.
Okay.
So another example, for example, that we talk about is if we think about cancer, there are many types of cancers, correct?
Yes.
The same way, there are many types of dementia, Alzheimer's dementia, vascular dementia. So they're not separate. There's some misconception with that, but that's what we try to do through this visual, that dementia incorporates all of these other diseases.
Okay, thank you.
And so let's look at the 10 warning signs of Alzheimer's disease. And the first warning sign talks about memory loss that disrupts daily life. And David mentioned this as he talked about Alzheimer's disease. With Alzheimer's disease, the damage begins in the hippocampus of our brain, and that's where we download our short-term memory. And so the damage in this area will affect our short-term memory. And we may find that we forget what we ate for breakfast. We forget a recent conversation. And so this eventually becomes quite disruptive to our daily life. The next loss is challenges in planning and solving problems. And we find that as this disease moves forward, we are having difficulty processing thought, organizing, planning. And so problem solving as a part of this mix becomes much more difficult for us. If we look at number 3, we find that as people navigate from early stage to middle stage to late stage, it becomes more and more difficult for the individual to complete what was once a very familiar task. Initially, we are having difficulty with loss of short-term memory, loss of language. Over time, we may have difficulty with navigation, ultimately driving. We may have difficulty balancing a checkbook. And as we continue to navigate, we are having difficulty with personal hygiene and taking care of tasks around the home. Number 4 is confusion with time or place. And people do present with confusion throughout the course of the illness, throughout the journey. But the confusion eventually makes it very difficult for people to figure out exactly where they are. And that issue with time and place becomes more and more of a concern. The 5th warning sign talks about trouble understanding visual images and spatial relationships. And as we decline with this illness, we may not understand what we are looking at. You know, we may have difficulty seeing perhaps a painting on the wall. And over time, as this multi-layered loss of function affects our daily life, we may look at a picture on the wall and only see a quarter of that picture, and it's very blurry. And we also may misperceive what is happening in front of us. Number 6 is new problems with words in speaking or writing. And we do know that throughout this journey, we struggle with language. You know, initially we are having difficulty catching that last word of the sentence. Eventually, we may begin to share 2 or 3 word phrases instead of that complete sentence as we once were able to. And we do find that as language declines throughout this journey, we also have difficulty with writing along with that loss of language. And number 7 is misplacing things and losing that ability to retrace our steps. And we all have our favorite hiding places for those important items. And as individuals continue to navigate this journey, the person may place their wallet or their watch or that important item in a drawer or a place that they feel is going to protect that. But then they forget where it is. And so as caregivers, we need to help them find that item. Sometimes the person with dementia will say to the caregiver, you know, you stole my watch, you stole my wallet. And as a caregiver, I would say, well, let's find it. You know, I think I may have seen it in your drawer or on your dresser. Let's go take a look. As we look to number 8, we find that judgment skills become very challenging for persons with Alzheimer's disease and dementia. And we do find that people are no longer able to keep themselves safe. Wandering can present itself at any time. And the person with dementia may find that they have to go to work even though they've been retired for 30 years, or they need to visit a place they lived at 30, 40 years ago. So we need to be very aware of the loss of judgment capability. And at the Alzheimer's Association, we can share information with families, with community organizations, to help them better support individuals declining with dementia.
Mhm. And I just wanted to stop on this one because I had a thought on all of them, but we just had an issue in Yates County with a Nixle Alert through the sheriff's office that 81-year-old woman was out. It was like 6:45 in the morning. I got the alert and had wandered off. Luckily, they found her in about an hour, hour and a half. But now that makes sense. You know, I always wonder, why would these people wander off? Where are you going? And sometimes it's in the winter, it's at night, but like you said, they're just putting that association with something else they don't understand. They're not going to work, or they're not going to check on their daughter, or bring in the crops, or checking on the animals. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do want to shout out to our first responders who are always available. You know, if somebody with Alzheimer's disease or any other dementia begins to wander, they are out to help protect everyone. And so thank you to our responders. And we also do talk to responders and offer education about Alzheimer's disease and dementia. And number 9 is withdrawal from social and work activities. And what we find is that as individuals continue on this journey, because of the loss of language capability, because people are having difficulty sharing their needs, sharing their desires, and also because of that loss of memory, people can withdraw. And so we find at the Alzheimer's Association that it's so very important to keep people socially engaged and to offer social opportunities, which we do at the association. So number 9 is very important for all of us to think about and to support the caregiver as they manage that possible withdrawal and activities, that offer social activity. And then changes in mood and personality is very much a part of this decline. And we do find that many people may present with depression, anxiety, and other concerns that we need to address. And so these are the basic 10 warning signs, 10 symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. And your loved one may not present with all of these symptoms, but if you see perhaps 2 or 3, and you're questioning, what am I seeing? Definitely reach out to your physician, reach out to the association. You can always reach us at 1-800-272-3900. And we, again, offer tremendous information for caregivers, for families, and anyone, calling the helpline or visiting alz.org, as David mentioned.
Thank you, Nan. And so as we see that these 10 warning signs, and as we maybe perhaps find that our loved ones may be experiencing these signs, or maybe ourselves, we always want to make sure we talk to a health professional, like Nan mentioned, reaching out to the doctor, and also at the association, where we have master level clinicians available to talk to you and to go through anything that you're going through, either trying to find out if there's some type of dementia or some type of memory problem, or even if you are in that place of caregiving. We have many programs and services for you. One of the places that, one of the resources that we have available online, a tool online called the Community Resource Finder. You'll see at the bottom left of your screen. This is taking away the challenge of finding dementia care resources. So here, if you access alz.org/CRF, you'll be able to click on different icons depending on what type of service you're looking for. So for example, if you are looking for home care services, you can click on that section, and it'll give you a prompt to type in your zip code. So you type in your zip code, and then it'll give you a list of the contact information of those agencies that are in your area that are providing that particular service. And you can call them, you can email them. But that is the same for many other types of resources, including those that we offer within the association, as well as our partner in AARP. We also, noting the pandemic that we have all lived through and continue to do so, we have developed specific resources and information around COVID-19 and caregiving for those who have Alzheimer's or other type of dementia. So if that is something that is also of interest to you and that is of need, please reach out to us and ask about that COVID-19 and caregiving information. Yep, and I think, Nan, you wanted to talk maybe a little bit more about the DCRF.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and as David indicated, the Community Resource Finder houses area agencies that are able to support families living with dementia. We also will list our education programs at alz.org, and a caregiver, family, interested community individual can go to the alz.org/CRF and find that, perhaps in June, we are offering our effective communication strategies or understanding behavior, dementia-related behavior, and can navigate through the CRF to find out about our workshops, as well as any conferences that might be held during this time. And as we were talking about earlier, you know, June is Awareness Month for brain health and for the Alzheimer's Association. And so we are promoting a number of programs that may speak to families and community organizations, and you may want to join one of those programs. But again, as David mentioned, we offer, each county hosts a number of community programs that are available to support families living with dementia. And we also work closely with Lifespan to support the needs of older adults in the community. And if someone is interested in connecting with, say, one of our memory programs, they can call the helpline and we can share that information. Thanks, David.
Thank you, Nan. And now I just want to highlight also that we have programs and services available in the Spanish language for those individuals and families that would like to receive this information in Spanish. At our chapter, I am the one who heads this initiative, and we have here in front of us our June list of educational programs available in Spanish, as well as the dates and times. But again, if you know of somebody that speaks Spanish, or a family that's also going through this journey of Alzheimer's or other type of dementia caregiving, please contact us. You can contact the helpline, but you can also reach me directly. And my phone number is 585-257-4472. And my email is dclopez@alz.org. So we have these programs and services available in
Nice.
Spanish.
I'm
as
gonna
well.
just jump in here too, David. I'm definitely gonna make sure to link you in. We have a federally qualified health center in Yates County, the Finger Lakes Community Health, and they do a lot of outreach and work with migrant and seasonal workers in the community. So I gotta remember to make sure to link you up with that resource as well. That would be great.
Okay, thank you, Arlene. That would be great. And just to make a correction, on my phone number, I said the correct number is 585-257-4477. I mistyped, missed the 7.
Okay.
The last
All right. So that's 585-257, and you missed the 7. Okay. Definitely we'll make sure to get that out there.
585-257-4477.
Okay. Thank you.
And the Alzheimer's Association relies on dedicated volunteers to achieve our vision of a world without Alzheimer's disease. And we are always looking for passionate volunteers that will help us provide community education, facilitate support groups, and help with our walk and our longest stay. And so please consider becoming a volunteer. You can always visit volunteer.alz.org for additional information.
And Nanette, do you have some volunteers in Yates County? If you wouldn't mind going back to that.
Yes, we do, but we are always looking for additional volunteers to provide education, as well as help with facilitate support groups and with walk.
Yes, yes. Now, you haven't probably been able to do in-person support groups, but have you been doing them via phone or via Zoom?
Yes, last March, as the pandemic began to shut our community programs down, we took 2 weeks and we moved everything to the virtual desktop. So
Mhm.
all of our education, support groups, social activities, and conferences have been running on Zoom and by phone since then. But as the world is now opening up again, we are beginning to look toward programs soon, that will be live once again. But we know going forward that, some of our caregivers really found Zoom to be helpful because
Mhm.
then they could stay at home with their loved one and
Oh.
connect with
Mhm.
us at the same time. And we have other individuals, other caregivers who said, I can't wait till we are back in person. So we'll try to find something for everyone.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And this is our last slide. And as Nan was mentioning, finding something for everybody. That also goes for our big events, including our Walk to End Alzheimer's. So we are going to have this event available as a big group with everybody present. But also there's the option of those who would like to participate to walk separately with their family and friends in their communities to do that as well. So what is the walk? This is an event that happens annually in the association. Around 600 communities participate nationwide and is the world's largest event to raise awareness and funds for Alzheimer's care, support, and research. So within our community, we have three walks. We have the Rochester Walk taking place October 9th. And then we also have the Finger Lakes Walk taking place October 2nd. And we also have the Southern Tier Walk that we're still trying to finalize the date, but it should be around mid-October. So if anybody wants to participate in this great event, please access our website, alc.org/walk, and you can gather your family, your friends, create your own team, raise funds, or if you just want to walk, you're more than welcome to do that. So thank you, Arlene. Thank you, Maggie. That is all. Are there any additional questions or comments?
Okay. So thank you both, David and Nanette. And I do want to give out shout out to Maggie Marr. She is our facilitator and technical guru who made this all possible. So thank you, Maggie. Greatly appreciated. Just again, a couple of just basic questions. So, David, you do outreach bilingual to Spanish speakers. Nanette, I know you from doing outreach in African American church communities. Why do you have those specialty programs?
Yes, you mean why are we trying to access the minority communities?
Yes.
Yes, well, we know that Alzheimer's disease does affect the minority populations, particularly the Latino and the African American community, much more than the white community. So there is higher risk
Hmm.
for getting this disease, but also there is a real there's a real barrier between these communities accessing the free and available services that are uh, present for them. Um, so we're really trying to breach that gap um, through community engagement, through finding volunteers within those communities, and really talking to the communities um, in person, hopefully when we can, but really letting them know that we are here for them and that programs and services are available for them to assist them in that journey, all for free, of course. Um, so that is something that we really try to focus on, and to also break down all of those the stigma
Hmm.
stigmas that might be present, social and culturally, with the disease.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And much of my day is spent reaching out to houses of faith throughout our entire region. And I am often in touch with churches in Rochester and the surrounding communities, asking, are you interested in a presentation from the Alzheimer's Association? And we're fortunate in not only partnering with you, Arlene, but in partnering with so many houses of faith, all of which help us, care for families, in turn caring for their loved ones with dementia.
Right, right. And so I also wanted to share that you also are working with other, um, I guess I'll say, minority communities, and you've made some headway and some partnerships in the Plain community with
Mhm.
Mennonite and Amish as well. Could
Mhm.
you talk a little bit about that?
I've had the wonderful experience of working with two incredible women within the Plain community, and we've met over the last year. It's been on the phone
Hmm.
because of COVID, but we've met, and it's an opportunity to share information about Alzheimer's disease and other dementia, and information about caregiving, both having to deal with communication, with understanding and responding to behavior, nutrition and dementia. We offer a workshop called Healthy Living for Your Brain and Body that really talks about lifestyle. And all of this information has been of such value. And we share books and we share brochures and lots of great discussion. And so it's a relationship that I treasure tremendously. And I hope to find more opportunities to do this in our area. I think that there must be many, many more groups of women who are looking for this information.
Right,
And
right.
so thank you.
Well, and thank you as well. We want to make sure in Yates County that we're reaching everyone. And I said, well, we do have a Plain community, but we have the rest of the community, and we have a good diversity of followers who are farmers and 4-H families and people interested in lakes and natural resources. So it's a good cross section of Yates County, which is why I invited you on. And then my last question, could you talk a little bit about why support groups are beneficial, and about respite, and why that's a thing that's needed with Alzheimer and dementia?
Mhm. Go ahead, David.
Yes, we really try to focus on caregiver well-being because we know that any type of dementia, including Alzheimer's, poses a big burden not only for the person living with the disease, but for those who are providing that 24-hour care. We always talk about the labor of love, but that labor of love does come as a big burden for caregivers, and it's important for them to take care of themselves, um, so that they can translate that positive well-being to their loved ones who are living with the disease. So one of those ways that we provide that type of well-being for the caregiver is through support groups. What support groups do is give a space for caregivers to connect with other caregivers who are going through similar situations. What this does is it makes the caregiver feel not alone, but that um, they can relate to other people, other caregivers who are going through similar situations. They can share ideas. They can even, in many times, form friendships. Um, so, very, very valuable uh, service that we provide. Again, highlighting the importance of caregiver well-being.
And
Thank you.
research has also shown us what we already know, and that respite does help people kind of revive and go back to caregiving with that renewed energy, as David mentioned. And so we find respite to be very important. And we do encourage caregivers to, reach out to Lifespan for respite. They can call us directly and we can make that referral. And there are other organizations in our communities who offer respite as well. But it's something that oftentimes people will say, well, I don't need it yet. But we feel it's very important, and so important for the health of the caregiver as well as the health of the person living with dementia.
Yeah. And could you define respite? Exactly what is that?
Respite is just time away, time stepping back from those duties of caregiving while someone, takes your place for a moment or a day or a week or whatever that might look like. And different programs will offer different types of respite. Some programs may offer a volunteer who comes to visit you once a week, and the volunteer will spend a couple of hours with your loved one so that you can step away. You can take a nap, you can take a walk, you can do household chores. Other types of respite may offer, a longer period of respite. But it's definitely important for caregivers to reach out and to find out about the respite available in their area.
Yeah. And sometimes these things are even covered by insurances, but I think that's where it's important to reach out to the Alzheimer's Association to actually get the information to help navigate systems and understand what your options are.
Absolutely.
Okay. Is there any parting thoughts that you'd like to share?
Go ahead, David.
Yes, I just want to thank everybody for participating, and for those who will be viewing this at a later time. Just know that the association is here for you. Just as you need a care team and different types of care partners in your community, whether it's your health professionals, your family, your friends. Also do count on the association to be part of that team, as we are here for you 24/7 in any type of language, ready to assist you with anything that you need.
And to piggy on what David mentioned, as caregivers, we cannot do it all by ourselves. We need a village. And this disease is 24/7, and it does require many people to offer that wonderful caregiving. So ask for help, and please give us a call.
Okay. Well, again, Nanette Friedman, Program and Services Project Director, and David Chaves Lopez, Bilingual Program Manager from the Alzheimer Association of Greater Rochester and the Finger Lakes. So thank you both for taking some time to visit with us here at Cornell Cooperative Extension, and have a good day.
Thank you.